of Vlogmas by Linda Gabrius. By Linda Gabrius. That's the name of the writer of this short. I'll be reading this short story called The Puzzle. And this is from Chicken Soup for the Soul for people that don't know. And I don't see nobody on here, but that's okay. I just want to come on here and share this enlightened devotion, this story by Linda. It's by Linda. Let me get the right name, y'all. Linda Gabrius, and it's called The Puzzle. And so I will be reading this story, so hopefully somebody can get encouraged and enlightened. And happy second day of Vlogmas. Okay, it's called The Puzzle. It says, Christmas is a season of joy, of holiday greetings exchanged, of gift giving, and of families united. Norman Vincent Peale. It says, I remember pouting when I first caught wind that Uncle Stan and Aunt Grace were coming to spend Christmas with us. I was 13 years old, and the last thing I wanted was to share the most special season of the year with two old people I barely knew. Worse yet, my parents announced that Uncle Stan and Aunt Grace would be using my bedroom for the holidays, and I'll be sleeping on a cot in the storage room. I tried to protest, but my complaints fell on deaf ears. I'll freeze to death in there, I warned, reminding them how ice formed on top of the water pails the previous winter when the heater gave out. Don't be silly, Dad said, playfully cupping the back of my head. I'll bring in some old horse blankets from the stable for you to burrow under, he joked, heading outdoors to his morning chores, and Mom continued to strip my bed while I sulked, having to move my clothes from the closet to make room for theirs. You remember visiting Uncle Stan and Aunt Gracie at their place when you were a little younger, don't you, Lizzie? Mom questioned. Fussing with the new flannel fairy tale cottage by a river, there lived a tall man who called me Pipsqueak and a short, round woman who smothered me with hugs. I wonder if they'll bring me a present. I pondered aloud, trying, as Mom had suggested, to look on the bright side. Lizzie, Mom scolded, shaking her head in disgust. You know darn well Christmas is not about giving gifts. But, she added, speaking of gifts, you will have to buy your aunt and uncle something nice to put under the tree. Like what? I questioned, rattling a few coins that were left over in my piggy bank after purchasing my gifts for Mom and Dad. I shuddered at the thought of having to spend my remaining savings on a gift that I feared would be impossible to find. On our last trip into Huntsville before Christmas, Dad and I headed downtown, agreeing to meet them back at the truck in 2 hours. I didn't have a watch, but Mom reminded me to keep an eye on the town hall clock. I shopped and shopped, but found nothing suitable or affordable, and glanced announcing a clearance sale on games and puzzles. Suddenly, a light bulb went on in my head. Why not? I pondered. The notion, worried my parents might think I was choosing Uncle Stan and Aunt Grace a gift I was hankering for myself. But the more I thought about it, the better I liked the ideal, all because of something I remember seeing at their house when I was little. Filled with new hope on a special mission, I rushed into Eaton's and made my way to the clearance tables, where I eagerly rummaged through the items. And then, lo and behold, there it was. It was a perfect gift and totally within my budget. In fact, I had enough money left over to pay the cashier for a square of wrapping paper and a pretty red bow. Christmas came in a flurry, bringing Uncle Stan and Aunt Grace with it. Our small house was filled with laughter and excited chatter. Even though Uncle Stan still called me Pipsqueak and Aunt Grace couldn't get enough hugs, just seeing how much Mom and Dad enjoyed their company made me happy too. On Christmas Day, when we exchanged gifts, I learned one of life's most valuable lessons. Regardless of how much I loved the beautiful handmade gifts Uncle Stan and Aunt Grace had made for me, as Uncle Stan and Aunt Grace opened their present for me and discovered a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle that had on its lid a picture of a beautiful little cottage sitting on the banks of a river. Their faces beamed. "Oh my goodness," praised Aunt Grace. "It's beautiful, Lizzie. It looks just like our place, doesn't it, Stan?" Right down to the muscata tree that it surely did look a lot like Uncle Stan and Aunt Gracie's home on the river. "We love jigsaw puzzles," Aunt Grace sang, smothering me in hugs. "We surely do," Spick squeaked. Uncle Stan winked. "I know," I smiled proudly, telling them how I remembered seeing an unfinished puzzle on the table in their sunroom and several more famed ones hanging on the wall. After the turkey dinner was over, we all huddled around the kitchen table in front of the wood stove and began working on the puzzle. As our busy hands fluttered over the colorful pieces, my aunt and uncle and mom and dad started swapping stories. A few were amusing and a few were sad. But I was captivated by every word. By the time the evening was over, I was happy that Uncle Stan and Aunt Grace had come for the holidays. In fact, I coaxed them to stay long enough to finish the puzzle. And to this very day, that is one of my most cherished childhood memories of Christmas. And this story, y'all, is from Linda Gabriels, and it's called The Puzzle. Can you imagine? Hi, everybody. God bless you. Hello. Hello, everybody. God bless everyone that's on here. No, I don't speak Spanish. Sorry. I'm just reading the story from Chicken Soup every day. This is my just the memories of good times when you was a child, and when these people in this book, there's how many stories in here of Chicken Soup, what they come to and how it's uplifting and encouraging about Christmas. And so this story that I just got to reading, that y'all that missed it and didn't hear it, was called The Puzzle. And this little girl on here, who was a writer of the story, I don't know if she had wrote it up, but she didn't want her aunt. They wasn't looking happy about their aunt and uncle coming for the holidays. And so after the aunt came and the uncle came, that puzzle seemed to brought them back together, and it brought good memories, and everybody started putting the puzzle together. It was a 1,000-piece puzzle. And what happened was, when they unwrapped the puzzle, Aunt Grace and Uncle Stan, they seen the puzzle and they unwrapped it and they said, "Oh, this looks like our home." It had the river, the water by it, and the trees and a cottage and everything. And so, and then she didn't know in here that that was going to change things about how she felt about them coming for Christmas. And so that puzzle brought everybody together, with everybody doing it. That gift was so important to this young lady in the story here. The gift was so important that everybody started putting the puzzle together, and it brought laughter. It brought a reminiscence of old stories and things they did when they was little. And so when that child was, when she was seeing the smile on the mother and the father's face of them reminiscing and talking about old times, that brought joy to her heart. And she was glad that her Uncle Stan and Aunt Grace had came to visit that winter. Because at first she didn't want to give up her bed. She didn't want to sleep on her cot, but she allowed that to happen. That she slept on in a cot, and then allowed Aunt Grace and Uncle Stan to have her bed. And so, but she was not going for that, having their bed. And she wasn't happy about them coming for Christmas, putting her out of her bed. And so this story just makes us more aware of how important it ain't about the gift. It's about spending time with your family and your friends this holiday season, by just being there and sharing your stories and sharing the love and receiving hugs and receiving good things. So this Christmas, if we can just focus not just on a gift, but who God is, the giver of the gifts, and just focus on somebody just coming from their heart, doing for you because they love you and because they care. So that was a story of the puzzle. I hope y'all got something out of this story, or something what I just said, or just watch the replay, y'all. But this story just touched my heart here, and it just again how Lizzie, that little girl named Lizzie, was just so excited about Christmas, even more so when she learned to just share her bed and share things. And when she gave, things was given back to her. They brought gifts and they got gifts, and just that love and the family together and unity, and just reminiscing, just about smiles and laughter to everyone's face, so it was a wonderful story. I love this story. Again, it's by Linda Gabriels, and this is Chicken Soup for the Christmas Soul, y'all. Christmas is in the air by Amy Newmark. I hope somebody got something out of it. I hope you remember that this holiday is focused on love and family and friends, and doing something for somebody else. If it's just giving them a smile or giving them a hug, encouraging somebody, and getting out of yourself this holiday season. So hope y'all loved this story. Thank for people for coming on here. I appreciate you. God bless you. I will try to come every day with a short story from Chicken Soup of the Soul by Amy Newmark. Thank you guys for coming on. Hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you're looking to this message, and you're being encouraged in this holiday season and this blogmas. And I come back tomorrow with another short story. So hope you guys are joining me. And hello to all my subscribers and the people that's on here. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Have a wonderful night, evening, morning, whenever you get this video. God bless you. I got to get out of here.